This is the African News Update on top accolade news. The headlines: Tanzania blocks access to X. The Congo bans media coverage of ex-President Kabila. Burundi votes in pivotal legislative election. World Bank resumes funding to Uganda. We start with the focus in politics. Tanzania blocks access to X. Tanzania has blocked access to the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, citing the spread of pornographic content. Information Minister Jerry Sila says the platform violates national values and online ethics. However, right groups warn that the move reflects a broader trend of digital repression ahead of the October election. The partial shutdown follows the hacking of government accounts and rising political tension, including the arrest of opposition leader Tundu Lissu, an allegation of abuse against regional activists detained in Tanzania. Still in politics, DR Congo bans media coverage of ex-President Kabila. Congo's communications regulator has banned all coverage of former President Joseph Kabila across print, broadcast and digital platforms. The move, defended as enforcement of a government embargo on Kabila's political party, follows accusation linking him to Rwandan-backed M23 rebels in the conflict-ridden East. Kabila, who denied the claims, recently appeared in Goma, an M23 stronghold. His parliamentary immunity was lifted last month, and prosecutors are now investigating him for alleged crimes including treason and war crimes. Moving on in politics, Burundi votes in pivotal legislative elections. Burundians head to the polls today for the country's first legislative and local elections since 2020. Voters will fill 123 seats in the National Assembly, with most chosen through party lists and others co-opted to meet ethnic and gender quotas. The concerns about political repression and press freedom loom large. Media watchdogs have reported increased intimidation of journalists in the lead-up to the vote, which comes ahead of the 2027 presidential election under a new constitutional framework. Shifting focus to economy, World Bank resumes funding to Uganda. The World Bank has announced it will resume funding to Uganda nearly 2 years after suspending support over the country's controversial anti-LGBT law. The global lender halted new financing in August 2023, citing the harsh penalties of the Anti-Homosexuality Act, including the death penalty. However, a World Bank spokesperson says Uganda has now implemented adequate safeguards to prevent harm under the law, allowing the bank to approve 3 new development projects in social protection, education, and refugee support. Uganda remains one of the bank's key partners in East Africa, especially in infrastructure development. You're watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Still in the economy, Zimbabwe's annual inflation hits 92.1%. Zimbabwe's Reserve Bank is urging citizens not to panic over the sharp rise in annual inflation, which climbed to 92.1% in May 2025. Zimbabwean Central Bank Governor says the spike is largely due to one-time price shock in late 2024 and does not reflect current economic conditions. Monthly inflation has remained below 1% for the past 3 months, signaling price stability. With inflation data now based on the Z currency introduced last year, the central bank expects year-on-year inflation to decline steadily and fall below 30% by year-end. Moving to environment, Ethiopia's parliament bans single-use plastic bags. Ethiopia's House of People's Representative has passed a law banning single-use plastic bags, imposing fines between 2,000 and 5,000 birr for individuals caught with them. Manufacturers, importers and sellers face stiffer penalties, including fines up to 200,000 birr and prison terms of up to 5 years. While some lawmakers expressed concern about the law's impact on low-income citizens, officials emphasized the environmental dangers of plastic, which can take up to 100 years to decompose. A nationwide awareness campaign will soon launch to educate the public about the new regulations. In entertainment, Idris Elba unveils bold plan for African cinema chain. Actor and entrepreneur Idris Elba is setting his sights on transforming Africa's entertainment landscape. Elba revealed plans to launch a continent-wide cinema chain to address the severe shortage of movie theaters, less than 3,000 across Africa. His broader vision includes the Akuna Wallet, a blockchain-based payment platform to support African creative and talking script, an AI-driven app aiding dyslexic film professionals. Elba called on young creators to see their imagination as capital, saying innovation, accessibility, and AI will drive the next chapter of African storytelling. Now in sports, Zambia women's national team returns after 3 national series in South Africa. The Zambia women's national team, the Cooper Queens, have returned home following their participation in the 3 Nations International Friendly Series in South Africa. The squad played 2 key matches, drawing 1-1 with Botswana and losing 2-0 to host and reigning WAFCON champion South Africa. Notable foreign-based players returned to their clubs directly from South Africa, while others rejoined the local contingent. The team now prepares for WAFCON 2025, while they will compete in Group A alongside Morocco, Senegal, and DR Congo next month. That concludes our African news updates for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojorumi Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.